Hello everybody, this is potpotsie, and today I'm going to be talking about the changelog for 0.9.0 build 5, as well as showing you and walking around, kind of explaining some of it to you. So I'm going to go ahead and create a brand new world and call it, we'll just call it alpha build 5. There's so many fixes in this version, you know, so let's go ahead and I'll do survival mode. And the issue with the bottom bar is still not fixed. So I have to go back out, go back in, and go back into the game. So now I'm here in a random part of the world. So let me check my settings and make sure things didn't change too much. Let's see. Looks like it's about the same. Looks like it's about the same as before, but not quite. There's something about this. My sensitivity was changed with the update as well. Oh gosh, I'm going to die. So, there's quite a few bug fixes in this version. Now, many people aren't exactly aware that this is the testing phase, which means there's going to be a lot of problems, you know? Things like multiplayer, textures, explosives, especially things related to physics, which also is connected to explosives like TNT and things like that, which is also tied to creepers, obviously. They're all explosive, physics-related control mechanisms in the game. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you what the bug fixes are first, and then we'll talk about the tweaks and some of the known bugs that they've already reported, so you don't need to report them again. So they fixed multiplayer. Now, for those of you that didn't test that, I personally did. I have a few tablets to work with. My little sisters have tablets, so I updated them to 0.9.0. I tried connecting in 0.9.0 version 4, and you couldn't stay connected for more than 4 seconds before it crashed. Like, it was crazy. So they fixed multiplayer. So now at least you can start to test multiplayer bugs and actually play the game locally. So this is not Pokemon. This is just local games connecting on your tablets with your friends. They also fixed the crash and explosion. So a lot of the times the game would crash from explosive related things going on in the world. So that was obviously really annoying. One of the things that bugged me the most they fixed also is the sky. What? Is this a skeleton? What? Are you serious? Why aren't you dead, huh? It's bloody daytime. Die, you fool. Yes, I am. Oh, thank you for the arrows and the bones. That's really nice. That's really nice of you. The sky no longer becomes dark when swimming and exploring shallow caves. That would be their words. Many of you remember that if you go down below and explore, you would see this go really dark. Like, it didn't look natural. It didn't look nice. It didn't look cool. It was just weird. So I hated that. They fixed the water also, generating obsidian, so it no longer does that. So water and lava can generate and be happy without converting into obsidian. Now, as you can see, the sky is not this creepy color right here. It's just a normal sky, which of course, if you're looking through water, it's going to have a little bit of a different view anyway, but that's expected. Let's see, what else? They fixed all the TNT stuff. I already mentioned the explosives that they changed. You can now spawn redwood trees from spruce saplings. So now there's an actual way to create these trees naturally without having to spawn the tree. And they also fixed the black fences. The black faces on the fences, how they word it. The doors and the trapdoors next to walls. Now that's also tied to the massive lighting glitches that have been taking place that they've been working to fix very hardly, which is the main focus of build 5. So that's what they've done. Alright, so now we're moving to the tweaks section. So actually I should really craft something, you know, because it's going to get dark soon and I'm going to die. And then you guys aren't going to know what's going on. So I'm going to go ahead and craft a couple of things. Some oak planks, some sticks, crafting bench. I'm going to put the crafting bench down right there, and I'm going to get myself a nice wooden sword. Oh yes, there we go. Oh, I'm holding a stick. Yes, now I can use this when the creatures come out. So loading textures in the background to avoid hiccups at runtime, which essentially means that hiccups were taking place. I'm sure a lot of you noticed as you walk, it would go boom, you know, it would jiggle kind of a thing. It would keep hiccuping because it was loading textures. Now they've got it loading in the background much more smoothly, so you can naturally transition and have the textures loading while having the whole game smooth, which is really nice because that makes the whole game feel a lot more premium rather than choppy and annoying, you know. Tall grass is no longer flammable because that doesn't really make sense to have green grass flammable. Maybe if it was dead, it would make sense to have it burning. But the tall grass isn't supposed to be burning. They added a recipe for emeralds as well, so you can now actually make emeralds by mining the ores and whatnot, you know, those kinds of things. They made a lot of optimizations as well that you can read into on the description. Faster torch placing. They worded it as somewhat faster, so it's not necessarily something you're going to be totally noticing like, whoa, this is way faster, you know, but that should be slightly noticeable. They also improved again, which is the second time, I believe, the second time that they've noted, they've improved the particles of breaking blocks. So for those of you that don't know what that means, it's like if I'm breaking this block, those things coming off, those little pieces of dirt, those are the particles. Those are all particles, and they've improved them on mini blocks because they've added. Oh my goodness, that was weird. So that's nice that they've done that. They also optimized the rendering of the particles, which means they've found a way to optimize it, make it cleaner and smoothen the code so that you have less lag when having massive particles, which really comes in handy when we're working with TNT and you've got all of those little grey particles booming out of the game. You know, if your phone can't handle it, doesn't have enough memory, you're going to have some issues. So now, that's all the tweaks and bugs for this build. They may seem small, but they've made some serious improvements with the game overall, making it much closer to being ready for actual public release for iOS and Android together. Now, there is a few known bugs that they've said that are known, that way people don't report them too much. When starting up the game, it may hang for a couple of seconds before loading a world. That's how they worded it. So if your game kind of sits there for a few seconds, don't worry, they know they're working on a fix to make it faster for you. Sometimes way too many mobs spawn on the surface. I'm sure many of you know exactly what that means because you're making a world and you will have 10 billion little mobs. And mobs aren't necessarily bad. They could be chickens, they could be sheep. You know, you just get tons of them. Like, whoa, there's way too many mobs in this game, you know. And that was the case. They fixed that as well. Now, the other bug that people have noticed a lot, which is a really mainstream bug that I'm sure most of you probably understand and remember, it says specifically, sometimes chunks only containing transparent blocks don't render until interacted with. So that would be like if I walked up to this tree and some of the leaves appeared to be missing. As soon as I break one, they all go back to normal. So I'm sure a lot of you know exactly what I'm talking about. It wasn't just leaves, that was just an example. It would be in the ground, in the caves, sometimes in the water. It could be really anywhere. So that was really kind of a strange bug, and it doesn't make the game feel nice when you're walking around and parts of the world are apparently missing. They're not actually missing though, that's the weird thing. It's just apparently to the eye, so you're gonna have to break things. But they're aware of all three of those things I just mentioned, and they're working on fixing them, so in build 6, I'm sure we will see some changes with those. You may not see changes to all of them, because we don't really know exactly how many more builds are necessary to make the game polished enough for actual release, but I'm sure it's getting much, much closer. Since we started this testing, they have made so much progress. It's not even funny how much they've made. It's been great. So keep it up, guys. Keep playing the game. Keep reporting those bugs. Let's get this game as cleaned up as possible before it releases fully public to iOS and Android. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed and got some information from this. And I will see you guys later with more seed reviews and other information about 0.9.0 alpha.